Do you know why you keep pushing away the people you love most? Ask yourself this. When your partner reaches for you emotionally, does part of you want to run? Not because you don't love them, not because you don't want to be close, but because something inside you interprets closeness as danger, and you have been carrying this war inside you for so long that you don't even see it anymore. Let me show you something you need to see. There is a silent war happening inside you right now. It happens every time intimacy starts to feel real. Every time someone gets too close to your truth, every time connection starts to deepen, and you don't even realize you are fighting it. That is the tragedy. You are at war with your own desire for love, and you keep losing without understanding why. Here is what the war looks like. You pull close, you open up, you share something real, and for a moment, everything feels beautiful. Then something shifts. The walls go up. You feel trapped, overwhelmed, suffocated, even though no one is suffocating you. So you retreat. You pull away. You create distance. And the distance feels safe again, until it doesn't, until the loneliness hits, until you realize that the very thing you ran from is exactly what you needed. So you reach again, you pull close again, and the cycle begins again. This is the exhausting cycle you have been living in, and it feels like something is fundamentally broken inside you. It feels like you are the problem, like you are just not capable of being loved the way you want to be loved. But I want you to hear something right now. You are not broken. You are not flawed. You are not defective. You are a product of survival. Your nervous system learned early that closeness equals danger. Not danger in the way of physical harm, but danger in the way of losing yourself, being consumed, being abandoned after being seen. Your brain associated vulnerability with pain, so it built walls. And those walls kept you safe. They were a gift to you at one point in your life. But now they are the cage you live in. And you cannot see it because you have been living inside it your whole life. This is what we call being a fearful avoidant. You are caught in the middle of two impossible forces. You crave connection with everything in you. You want to be seen. You want to be understood. You want someone to hold you and make you feel like you belong. But the moment that connection becomes real, your nervous system sounds the alarm. It says, too close, pull back, protect yourself, and you do, not because you chose to, but because your body learned to do it automatically. You are not choosing distance over love. Your system is choosing safety over connection. And these two things have been fighting inside you your entire life. Here is what you need to understand about this war. It is invisible to you. That is the hardest part. You look at your relationship and you see a partner who is anxious, clingy, too demanding, too emotional, and you think the problem is them. You think if they just gave you more space, everything would be fine. But the truth is, your need for space is not about them. It is about a part of you that learned to associate intimacy with danger. And every time you pull away, you are not protecting the relationship. You are protecting yourself from a pain that no longer exists in this moment. But your body doesn't know that. Your body is still living in the past, still protecting you from a threat that was real once, but is not real anymore. If you are watching this and something is resonating with you, this video is for you. If you have ever felt like something is broken inside you that you cannot name, you are in the right place. If you have ever looked at your relationship and felt trapped by the very person you love most, stay with me until the end, because what you are about to learn will change how you see yourself, and that changes everything. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you 5 blind spots that you probably don't even know you have. These are the invisible patterns keeping your relationship stuck in conflict, not because you are a bad person, not because your partner is wrong for you, but because you have been fighting a war inside yourself that you didn't know existed. And until you see it, you cannot change it. Until you understand it, you cannot heal it. Until you name it, it keeps running your life from the shadows. You deserve to know what is happening inside you. You deserve to understand why you do the things you do. You deserve to break free from this cycle and finally experience the deep connection you have always wanted. But you cannot do that until you can see clearly. And that is exactly what I am going to help you do right now. So stay with me, not because I am asking you to, but because you owe it to yourself to finally understand the war that has been stealing your peace for so long. The answers are coming, and they will be worth every second you invest in watching. If the last section hit something deep inside you, good. That is the beginning. That uncomfortable recognition you just felt, That is your nervous system being seen for the first time. And now we are going to go deeper, because you cannot fix what you do not understand, and you have never been given the language to understand what is happening inside you until now. Let me introduce you to who you actually are. There is a term in psychology for what you are experiencing. It is called fearful avoidant attachment. And if that sounds like a diagnosis, let me be very clear. It is not a disease. It is not a life sentence. It is a survival adaptation. It is the way your brain learned to protect you when the people who should have loved you safely did not. That is the origin. That is where it started. And understanding that is the first step to setting yourself free. Now let me break this down so you can see yourself clearly. A fearful avoidant lives in a paradox, two forces pulling you in opposite directions at the same time. On one side, you are deeply anxious about being abandoned. You are terrified of losing people. The thought of someone walking away from you triggers something primal inside you. You will do almost anything to keep that from happening. You will chase. You will beg. You will make yourself small just to hold on to someone. That is the anxious part of you. On the other side, you are deeply uncomfortable with emotional closeness. The moment intimacy starts to feel real, your system changes. The closeness that you craved moments ago now feels suffocating. Your independence becomes sacred. Someone getting too close to your inner world feels threatening, not because you don't want connection, but because something inside you learned that being known leads to being hurt, being rejected, being left anyway. So you pull back. You create walls, you choose distance over depth. That is the avoidant part of you. And here is where it gets really painful. These two forces exist inside you at the same time. You want someone, but you are afraid of them. You crave closeness, but it makes you feel trapped. You are afraid of being left, and you are afraid of being consumed. You are in a double bind. There is no winning. No matter what you do, part of you suffers. And this is the invisible war I talked about in the last section. It is not a battle between you and your partner. It is a battle between two parts of yourself that learn to fear each other. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. You meet someone, you feel connected, you share something real. For a moment, both parts of you feel satisfied. The anxious part feels held. The avoidant part feels safe. But then something shifts. The other person starts to need more from you. They want deeper intimacy. They want more of your time. They want access to your inner world. And the avoidant part of you starts to panic. It triggers the old alarm. Too close. Too much. You start to feel smothered even though nothing dangerous is happening. So you pull back. You create distance. You retreat into yourself. And your partner, who is just trying to connect with you, feels rejected. They start to chase. They ask more questions. They need more reassurance. And the anxious part of you feels confirmed. See, they are too demanding. They want too much. This is why I needed space. But your partner is not being too demanding. They are just asking for what you were offering moments ago. The part of you that ran is now calling their healthy need for connection a problem. This is the trap. You cannot see it because you are inside it, but your partner feels it. They feel you going hot and cold. They feel the push and pull. They start to doubt themselves. They start to walk on eggshells around you, and you feel controlled even though they are just trying to survive your inconsistency. Neither of you is wrong, but both of you are suffering, and the root cause is this double bind living inside you that you have never learned to manage. Here is what I need you to understand. You are not choosing to feel this way. No one wakes up and decides to be this complicated. Your attachment system developed this way because it had to. You learned early that love came with conditions, that closeness came with cost, that being fully yourself was not safe. So you built a system that wants connection and fears it at the same time. That is not weakness. That is the brilliant adaptation of a child who needed to survive. But you are not that child anymore. And the system that protected you then is now the system keeping you trapped. Understanding this is not about blaming your parents or your past. Understanding this is about seeing clearly. And when you see clearly, you can choose differently. You can start to notice when your system is taking over. You can start to interrupt the pattern before it destroys your relationship. You can start to heal the part of you that learned to fear love. The 5 blind spots I am about to show you are exactly this. They are the moments where your system runs the show without you even knowing it. They are the invisible patterns keeping your relationship stuck in conflict. And once you see them, you will never see yourself the same way again. You will finally have the map you need to navigate out of this cycle. You will finally understand why you do the things you do, And that understanding will give you the power to choose differently. So keep watching, because what comes next is going to change everything for you. If you understood what I shared in the last section, something important just shifted inside you. You now have a name for the war you have been fighting. You know why you feel pulled in two directions. You understand why closeness feels like danger. And that knowledge is powerful. But here is what most people miss after learning about fearful avoidant attachment. They think the problem is solved. They think just knowing about it is enough to fix it. It is not. And that is exactly why your relationship is still stuck. That is exactly why the cycle keeps repeating. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about right now. Here is the hard truth you need to hear. You do not see yourself clearly in conflict. That is the real problem. Not that you are broken, not that you are hard to love, not that your partner is not the right person. The real problem is that when conflict happens, you disappear. You go inside your head. You go offline emotionally. And while you are gone, you cannot see what is really happening. You cannot see the damage you are causing. You cannot see the pain you are creating. You cannot see the pattern that is running on autopilot underneath everything. You are blind in the very moments when clarity matters most. Let me explain why this happens. When emotional intensity rises in your relationship, your nervous system takes over. It does not ask your permission. It does not wait for you to decide. It simply acts. It pushes you towards safety. It pulls you away from threat. And the threat in your mind is the closeness itself. So you do what you always do. You retreat. You create distance. You go silent or go numb. And from your perspective, you are handling things. You are staying calm. You are not making things worse. But from your partner's perspective, you just abandon them in the middle of a conversation that mattered deeply to them. You just proved that when things get hard, you disappear. You just reinforced every fear they have about your commitment. And here is the part you cannot see. You do not register this as a choice. You do not experience this as rejection. You experience this as survival. Your body is telling you that the emotional intensity is a threat. And your job, as far as your nervous system is concerned, is to get safe. So you do. And you feel relief, but the damage is already done. Your partner is left standing alone in the aftermath of your withdrawal, wondering what they did wrong, wondering why you keep doing this, wondering if you even care. This is why your relationship stays stuck. You cannot see the cycle because you are inside it. Every time conflict arises, you do the same thing. You retreat. Your partner reacts. You feel criticized. You retreat further. Your partner chases. You feel controlled. You retreat even more. And around it goes. Neither of you understanding why the other person cannot just change. Neither of you seeing that the pattern is the problem, not the person. Now let me tell you something that will reframe everything for you. Your blind spots are not character flaws. They are not evidence that you are a bad person or a bad partner. Your blind spots are protective mechanisms. They are strategies your nervous system developed to keep you safe during times when safety was not guaranteed. They made perfect sense at one point in your life. They served you. They protected you from pain that was real. But here is what you need to understand right now. Those protective mechanisms have stopped serving you. They are no longer keeping you safe. They are keeping you trapped. They are the reason you cannot experience the deep connection you desperately want. They are the reason your relationships keep falling apart in the same way. They are the reason you feel like something is broken, but you cannot name it. You are not broken. You are stuck in protection mode. And the reason you do not see this is because protection feels like the right thing to do. It feels like wisdom. It feels like self-respect. It feels like not repeating old mistakes. But what it actually is fear dressed up as logic. Your avoidant patterns are not strategic choices. They are automatic responses from a system that learned to fear closeness. And until you can see that clearly, you will keep running the same program over and over, expecting different results. That is the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing and expecting different results. But you are not insane. You are just blind. In the next 5 sections, I am going to show you the 5 specific blind spots that are keeping your relationship stuck in conflict. Not generic advice, not surface-level suggestions. I am going to show you the exact invisible patterns running underneath your behavior, the things you do without knowing you are doing them, the damage you cause without meaning to cause it. These are the blind spots that your nervous system runs automatically, and they are the reason your relationships never get the chance to heal. This is going to be uncomfortable because I am going to show you things about yourself that you have never seen before. But discomfort is where growth begins. The moment you can see the pattern, you have the power to break it. The moment you understand why you do what you do, you can start to choose differently, and that is when everything changes. So stay with me, because what comes next is going to give you the map you have been missing, the awareness you need to finally stop destroying the things you love most, and the understanding that will set you free from this cycle once and for all. Let me show you your first blind spot. This one is sneaky because it looks like something positive. It looks like strength. It looks like composure. But underneath the surface, it is one of the most destructive patterns running in your relationship right now. Emotional disappearance. This is the first blind spot. And I want you to pay attention because this might be the pattern you did not know you had. Here is what it looks like from the inside. Something difficult happens in your relationship. A conversation gets heated. Your partner expresses frustration or hurt. And something inside you shifts. You go quiet. You go still. You watch yourself from a distance. You stop feeling what you are feeling. You stop being present in your own body. You are still physically there sitting across from your partner, but you have vanished. You have left the room emotionally. You are not there. You are gone. And here is what you call it. You call it staying calm. You call it not making things worse. You call it giving yourself space. You call it being the mature one. You tell yourself you are handling the situation well. You tell yourself that your partner is the one who is overreacting. You tell yourself that your silence is wisdom, that your withdrawal is peace, that your emotional absence is strength. But let me tell you what it actually is. It is self-abandonment dressed up as self-control. When you disappear emotionally, you are not staying calm. You are abandoning yourself. You are leaving yourself in the middle of your own experience. You are disconnecting from your own feelings because they feel too overwhelming to hold. And you do this so automatically that you do not even notice it happening. Your nervous system does it for you. It sees the emotional intensity, it sounds the alarm, and it pulls you out of your body and into a safe, numb place where nothing can hurt you. And here is the part that is costing you everything. While you are gone, while you are vanished, your partner is sitting there alone. They just expressed something vulnerable to you. They just shared something that was hard for them to say. They opened up. They trusted you with their pain, and you disappeared. They are not looking at you anymore. They are looking at a shell, a wall, an empty space where you used to be. Your partner does not see a calm person. They see rejection. They see abandonment. They see proof that when they need you most, you disappear. And that is the damage. That is the wound you keep reopening without knowing it. Every time you vanish in a moment of conflict, you are teaching your partner that you cannot be counted on when things get hard. You are teaching them that their emotional needs are not safe with you, and they carry that lesson forward into every future conversation. Now, I want you to understand why you do this, because this is where the real healing happens. You believe that disappearing protects the relationship. You believe that if you stay silent, you will not make things worse. You believe that your withdrawal prevents disaster. You think that by removing yourself emotionally, you are keeping the peace. You think you are being noble. You think you are being controlled. But here's the truth. Your disappearance does not protect the relationship. It kills it. It kills it slowly. It kills it one absence at a time. Because your partner keeps reaching for you, keeps expressing their needs, and keeps getting met with empty space. And after enough times, they stop reaching, they stop sharing, they stop trying. Because why would you keep opening yourself to someone who keeps vanishing on you? You think your silence is harmless? It is not. You think your withdrawal is neutral? It is not. You think your emotional absence does not cause damage. Every time you disappear, you are leaving a wound on the person who loves you most. And they do not understand why you keep doing it. They do not know that you do not even know you are doing it. They just know that every time things get hard, you vanish. And that makes them feel alone in their own relationship. This is your first blind spot. You cannot see it because it feels like the right thing to do. It feels like safety. But it is not safety. It is escape. It is you running from discomfort at the cost of your partner's trust. It is you protecting yourself while destroying the connection you claim to want. The first step to breaking this pattern is seeing it clearly, recognizing that what you called staying calm was actually self-abandonment. Understanding that what you called space was actually hiding, and knowing that the next time you feel the urge to disappear, you have a choice. You can stay present, you can stay in your body, you can stay with your partner even when it is uncomfortable. And that choice, made over and over, is what heals a relationship. You are not stuck, you just need to see the pattern, and now you do.